Yes, indeed, folks, Blizzard have answered your prayers. Gear score is a thing of the past, thanks to the new, innovative way to tell at a glance whether or not a player should be part of your raid group. Introducing TRH, short for That Retarded Horse. That Retarded Horse is the ideal way to quickly determine who shouldn't be in your group, with no mods required. Simply use your eyes. These are usually located in the front of your face. Direct your eyes at your game screen and observe the prospective player. Is he sitting on a dumb-looking impractical horse that he bought with real money? A reskin that he willingly sat in a queue for hours in order to purchase with actual cash? If yes, then there is no need to invite that player. That Retarded Horse will tell you all you need to know about potential pug members in an incredibly efficient manner. It's perfect for raid leaders, puggers, and even guild masters. Does a guildie have that retarded horse? Then bust them down to bencher, sonny. Want to get back into drama llama within your guild? Tell his wife/girlfriend, okay, who am I kidding? Mother, sister, friends, about how he spent real money on that retarded horse. Sit back and watch the fireworks. It's astounding. It's amazing. It's best of all. Free to use with no downloads required. Ladies and gentlemen, celebrate. Dance on the rooftops for the age of TRH. That retarded horse has arrived. So Ghostcrawler promised us a pony, and this was what he gave us. Ladies and gentlemen, that retarded horse. The Celestial Steed, as it's called. Brand new addition to the Blizzard store. The most expensive addition to a Blizzard store, I might add. Now, let me get this out of the way first. As ridiculous as it is to see 500,000 that retarded horse all over the place, then that's not the issue. That's not the biggest issue. If you want that retarded horse, you go and buy that retarded horse. I don't care if you decide to spend your money on that retarded horse, or give it to a horse charity, or buy a horse to eat. If you wish to have a horse burger, I am absolutely fine with that. You wish to shout yourself horse at my video? Nay! If you wish to shout yourself horse at Blizzard, do whatever the hell you want. I don't care. It's your time, it's your money. That's not the concern here, let's be honest. That is not the concern at all. I mean, we'll start with the fact that this thing looks like absolute garbage. I'm sorry. So if you go and have a look at my video, just turn the volume off. If you haven't seen the Celestial Steed, this video, I've got WoW on Ultra with everything turned up to max, 720p, just have a look on YouTube. Go and have a look at that video. You can go find it on my YouTube channel, Total Halibut on YouTube, youtube.com/Total Halibut. Go and have a look at that. You'll see the horse. That's the horse on absolute maximum graphical settings. It's garbage! It is awful! I mean, look at that stupid bloody thing. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is a reskin of Invincible. Now, Invincible is a mount that you can get from killing Lich King... Yeah, it's Lich King... Either Lich King or Lich King Hard Mode, I can't remember which. Whatever the case, it's rare as hell, ladies and gents. So what do they try and do? Well, they decided to reskin it. And they decided to reskin it by just taking the Algernon skin and slapping it on there. That's effectively what it is. I mean, just look at it. It's Algernon, and yes, I'm saying this on purpose, just FYI. Running joke, you know I've never said this right. Algernon, folks. Algernon, Algernon, Algernon. I say it to make you rage. It works incredibly well, does it not? The best in jokes are the ones that make people furious! It's a horrible looking thing. Now, I understand the desire, but here's the thing. So, here's the great scam. Now, I've been looking at the history of all of this, checking to see whether or not there was a plan here. There are a number of things that have set off my alarm bells in my head. And it's not the fact that people are buying this. You buy whatever the hell you want. I don't care. Now, if you get upset by the video, big deal. I'm sorry that some random guy over the internet insulted a large group of people that may or may not have bought that retarded horse. I am so sorry. In comparison to everything else that's going on in the world, really, in comparison to that, do you really think this is worth getting upset over? Honestly. Some guy compared it to racism. I kid you not. It's racist! This is kind of like racism. Some other guy claimed it was bullying. I'm sorry, I wasn't aware that I was capable of bullying 150,000 people at once. I must be worse than Hitler. Seriously, Hitler was a joke in comparison to me. I could bully people over the internet by putting out a really small 1-minute video that I recorded over the course of 30 minutes. You know what I did with this video? I went onto Mazarigo and said, who's got that retarded horse? And no one responded. It's like, oh, sorry, my mistake. Who's got the celestial steed? Well, I can tell you who's got the celestial steed. That guy over there. And I'm like, can you ride it for me? I'll give you 200 gold. And I'll make you appear in a video. I will make you a star. And he's like, yeah, absolutely, I'll do that. Where do you want me? Oh, well, let's go outside Ogromar. Here's the 200 gold. Now, ride around. Do that little rearing thing that you do. You know, make that happen. Took the video footage. I blacked out his name because I'm not mean, but... Oh, God. Oh, jeez. 13 minutes. I'm able to troll the entire WoW community in 13 minutes. I'm sorry, I am a god! Let's just do this properly. If I am going to be a deity, then I've got to have the proper voice.
I am a god!
Yes, indeed. If I'm able to do that, I'm such a bully, ladies and gentlemen. Bully. To be able to make light of that, racism, the bullying, it's ridiculous. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's hilarious. Welcome to all the new listeners that just tuned in as a result of this video going insanely viral. Ladies and gents, we just broke 50,000 views in 18 hours. That's insane. What a god, man. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. So, here's the grand plan, the scam, the conspiracy. There's a number of odd things that I've noticed about this. Now, I have already spoken of my disdain for the pet store. I think the pet store is absolutely appalling. Really, it's awful. It's the first time that Blizzard ever admittedly sold and put a price on an in-game item. I covered this when it first came out. I don't want to repeat myself too much. But anyone that makes the comparison... yeah, I'm sorry. I should mention more of these stupid things from YouTube and the thread, which is on WoW Europe. And there's one on MMO Champion as well. It's like 20 pages. So... comparisons. People said, how is this any different to paying a subscription? Oh, I don't know. I can think of a few reasons. Because if I pay for that retarded horse, and yet I don't pay for my subscription, then I can't use that retarded horse. That would be one key difference that I can think of off the top of my head. Let me see, other things. Oh, maybe because if I'm paying the $15 a month, that's how much I pay to get access to the service and to use the service. That pays for the... tech support, that pays for the GMs, the continued development of the game, blah, blah, blah. That's how much it was priced at the start. That's how much I expect to pay for the content that's available within it. So it's a dangerous precedent. Now, why is it not different to the TCG stuff? Some other idiot asked. Oh, well, I can think of a few reasons. Firstly, because people that bought the TCG were buying it to play it. Now, if someone decides to buy it not to play it, then that's their own damn fault. I don't care. But the point of the matter is it's a physical item. Why do you think I was so okay about the plushies that came out recently? Why do you think this was like a brave new world for Blizzard? I'm so naive. I am so damn naive. I thought that Activision Blizzard had seen the error of their ways and decided to sell a physical item with an in-game bonus, which is fine. That's okay. That's entirely cool. Bought one for my wife. She loves it. What can I say? I was fine with that. I thought this was Blizzard turning over a brave new leaf with innovation in their marketing. Oh, God, I was so wrong. Oh, man. So wrong, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the first time they've sold a mount, and of course they're selling it for $25. That's an absurd amount of money. £17. You know what? I actually went out and tried to spend £17 on my lunch. I couldn't find anywhere within reason that I could buy a reasonable lunch for £17. I would have had to buy something really silly. And I could have got a nice steak. Nice steak in a decent restaurant around there for £17. Not the best steak in the world, but pretty good. I tried to spend it, I couldn't do it. So I spent £7 and then dumped 10 in a charity box. But it's not even the price that's the worrying thing about this. This, to me, represents a really, really bad direction for the game. I understand selling merchandise. There is a demand for merchandise. I mean, evidently there's demand for that retarded horse as well. And over 100,000 people have this bloody thing. But it's a swindle. You've been hoodwinked. It's a bait and switch. So, here's the thing. If you buy something like this, then you would expect to be kind of unique, right? You'd expect it to be special. How is it special if everyone else has it? Now, there are a number of things that I see as red flags with this whole thing. And don't get me wrong, a lot of this is kind of clever marketing. First thing, you remember back in the day when they had that little pet, the Pandaren? When they were giving that it was a charity thing. They were giving away some of that money to charity. That was cool. Now, I said back in the day, that is a masterstroke of pure evil. You want to know why? Because no one can argue against charity without sounding like a heartless fiend. You can't do it. It's as simple as that. Now, here's the problem. I've spoken to a number of people, and I've had a number of reports from my listeners that have all said the same thing. Because of that, people think that everything in the pet store has a charitable donation attached to it, including that retarded horse. They think that. That's what the marketing did. It's a trick, a bait and switch. And you know what? It's encouraged people to buy it on that basis. Some of the people I told, actually no, there is no charitable donation to this, were shocked. They were like, how could Blizzard be so greedy? Surely they can afford to give some of the money from that retarded horse. I mean, God's sake, $25 times 100,000 people? Do the math. Good lord. It's absurdity. Look at how much money they've just made out of this bloody thing. Absolutely crazy. And it sure didn't cost that much to develop. It's a gold mine. And you know what the problem is? Because it's a gold mine, they're going to do a lot more of it. Way more of it. Now, the second crazy thing, just something that I observed. Remember the X-53 touring rocket? There's a bit of drama about that, but nowhere near as much as about this damn thing. It was mysteriously pushed back. Now, I wonder why that was. Oh, of course. Because you knew that people wouldn't have bought that retarded horse if the X-53 rocket was available, which is significantly cooler. Hey, think about it. How convenient that they pushed it back just around the time that that retarded horse launched onto the store. A little bit crazy, is it not? Now, one other thing that I noticed is this queue system. Now, is it just me? Or are they trying to generate hype? Yeah? They're trying to generate desirability for an item that's really not all that desirable. Oh, it's a queue for an item that's virtual. Okay, I can understand the technical reasons behind it, but don't tell me that there wasn't some kind of marketing ploy at work there. Now, here's the big thing about all of this. I don't care if you buy that retarded horse. I really don't. I don't believe that this is a good way for the game to go. Because it just gives the message. This is the message that's been handed along to Blizzard today. And Activision. You can come up with any old tat, put a price tag on it, pretend that it's desirable, and people will buy it. As opposed to what you were doing before, where you would provide that item as part of the subscription. Now, however small, and this applies to the TCG items as well, I'll go across the board with this one. However small, you're talking about an item that you acquire outside of the game, and is not available to the mainstream unless they want to pay a significant chunk of change to get it. That's a bad precedent. I'm sorry, it is. This is not a free-to-play game. You don't do that. It's just bad form. Taking away development money and taking away items from the general population is a bad thing to do. And it's not going to go anywhere good. But here's the real thing. Here's this big bait and switch. By creating this false demand, by creating this hype, by just fueling this drama, what you've done is you have fooled people into thinking they're getting something cool and unique, and you know what happens when they get on the server? Everyone in the frickin' city is riding these damn things. So what you've done is you've sold people the most common mount in World of Warcraft. Now, I don't know if that is utter complete foolishness or absolute evil maniacal genius. I wanted to go for genius because you know what's going to happen now? They're going to do it again and again and again. And people are going to be fueled to buy these things because too many people are riding that retarded horse. Seriously, you are not unique. You are not a unique and beautiful snowflake. You just spent money on something everybody else has. You look the same as everybody else. You spent real money on this. As opposed to people that buy TCG items because they're kind of rare and kind of unique, you have bought something that over 100,000 people have already bought and more buy every single second. Go and have a look in the Blizzard store right now. I wonder what that queue is like. I cannot imagine. I believe it was something like 90,000 at one point, and still going. According to this, Blizzard has been making $500,000 an hour from this thing. It's ridiculous. Absolutely absurd. And it's all one big scam. Because if you bought this thing, so is everybody else. You are not unique in any respect. This is more common now than that bloody brown bear that everyone was riding on. And I'll tell you this. There is a desire amongst all WoW players to a greater or lesser extent to be unique and to make their character unique in one way or the other. That's why you try and acquire this stuff. That's why so many people go for these titles, things like that. Because other people don't have them. You want to forge your identity. The identity of your character is vitally important. And by buying into this, all you've done is said, hey, I'm unique, just like everybody else. Dear Lord. My name is Total Biscuit. You're listening to Blue Please here on cynicalbrit.com. I will be right back after this, folks. Enjoy.